I would say your face is not on the camera.
Who me? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, there she go. Okay.
Okay, let me get my question. Okay, I guess we could start off by you just explaining your story from the beginning.
Okay, the story takes place at work. Wait, hold on. Okay, the story takes place at work. It was a normal work day. I went into work like not knowing that anything would be out of the ordinary. So a group of older men and women came in, and once they sat down, they turned their heads out of the window. They wouldn't face me while I was trying to take their orders. So I began taking their orders. As I was taking their orders, they talked very low so that I couldn't hear them. And they made it very hard to hear their orders. So I asked them, like, I repeated the orders back once I was finished taking the orders, and they making sure that everything was correct. And they said that everything was correct. So I went and put their orders in, and I fixed their drinks. It wasn't busy that day, so it didn't take long for their food to come out. So when their food came out, I made sure again that everything was okay. So as time went by, I checked in and out on them, making sure they were all right. They never complained. They were saying everything was okay. They took their refills. Once the food was finished, when they was done ordering their food, that's when all the chaos began. They went to screaming how nasty the food was and that they wasn't paying for anything and that it took long for their food to come out and their order wasn't correct. So they asked me if I could go get my manager. So I went and got the manager. And before I went and got the manager, I told them that they would have to pay because they ate all the food. They never made any complaints. So I told them that they would have to pay either way. So I went and got the manager, and she told them the same thing since they never complained that they would have to pay. So after that, it just became very like, I don't know the word to describe. Like they started calling us vulgar names, saying that I could have did my job better and that the service was terrible. And after when they got ready to pay, they threw their check and the money at us. I guess because they didn't want to put it in our hands or anything, so they threw it at us. But through it all, like, I kept my composure. I didn't get rude back or anything. So yeah, that was it.
So before all of that started, did you think the customers exhibited any like condescending behavior in their tone, anything that might have led up to that?
No, I just felt like that they were just ignorant people altogether because if you're having a bad day or just because you're having a bad day don't mean everyone else should have a bad day.
Okay. So do you believe that there might have been something that you did wrong, or you might have did an action that kind of offended them or something?
No, and even when I still think about it until this day, I still feel like that I was in the right because I was nice. I checked on them. I didn't give them any attitudes back. Even when they had attitudes, I never got an attitude back. I never once got rude back when I could have gotten rude back the whole time or been rude back the whole time. But no, I feel like I did everything right on my part.
All right. So in the back of your head, was there like anyone that gave you advice or something that you might have read that helped you deal with the situation?
No, I just know I wanted to keep my job. So if I If it wouldn't have been for that, I probably would have struck back out on them. But it was my first time ever dealing with that, so I really didn't know how to take it.
Okay, so as a whole, how did this whole encounter affect you maybe?
It made me realize like there are really rude people in the world for no reason. And that I don't know, that people just really can be ignorant. And you don't even have to do anything to them. It's just in them. So yeah.
Do you think the customers reacted that way because of your ethnicity or
I don't know if I would just say that because it could have been. But my thing is, why would you come to a restaurant knowing that it's not just that color or that specific color? So that could have been the case. I don't know.
mm, I'm trying to think of more questions because this is supposed to be like 30 minutes.
Right. Well, it's even.
Mm, yeah, man.
Where'd you work?
Yeah. You didn't say word.
I don't know any more questions, but all the ones I typed in.
I think I read in your pitch it was a Waffle House, you said.
Yeah, it was a Waffle House.
In the pitch you said Waffle House.
I don't know how we're gonna make this 30 minutes though.
I mean,
Am I allowed to talk?
yeah, I think so.
Can you? I don't know. I think you can.
I can think of some questions to make it longer.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, should we redo this then? Or should, because we done talked a lot in the interview.
Stopped, maybe like edit it in or something, smashing them together.
I'm about to say it could be, I don't know. We probably could edit it. I probably could edit it like that. I don't know. It's gonna upload on Microsoft Streams, right?
Yep, it is. And I think you could save it and edit it and stuff.
Okay. So we might can crop it out then. So wait, can you think of some questions? Oh, freak.
Did you like? Did you have Did you have any customers after that were similar to them, and did you like know how to deal with it better?
No, the whole time I was working there, those were my only rude customers. Well, that rude. You get rude customers in the waitress business, I would say. You get rude customers in the restaurant business anyways, but I just don't feel like they were that rude or that ignorant. Like, I never had anyone besides them throw money at me. None of that. Like, I never had any of that. And I worked there for a while, so no. And if I was put into a position like that again, I probably would know how to handle it better because I felt like it was just my first time and I was just doing what was on my mind at the time or saying anything that came to mind at the time. So maybe if it happened again, then I could handle it way better than what I did the first time. Even though I felt like I handled it well the first time, I probably could handle it even better again.
How old were you at the time?
I started working there. I was 16 or 17. It was one of the two. Probably 17. Yeah, it was my first job, so. We had 10 minutes. It's not even gonna be 10 though once we crop all of the whatchamacallits together, the clips together.
Mm, I think.
Do I have any more questions?
What did you learn from this experience?
Say that again.
What did you learn from this experience?
I learned that sometimes you just gonna have to deal with people like that, and you're gonna know how to have to deal with them. But I feel like you shouldn't, just because they're rude, you shouldn't be rude back, or you shouldn't scream, or you shouldn't act ignorant back. So that's something I can say that I learned. That just because one person shows ignorance doesn't mean that you have to also.
Okay, so you said earlier that you think you acted the best you could. Are there anything that you might have said differently or added on to the way you reacted?
No, because like I tried my best to not get rude back. I smiled, even when they were rude. I talked nice. I still made sure that they were my that I put them as a priority. So I don't think that I would say that I said anything out the way to them or I made them feel a certain type of way by anything that I said.
If I was speaking personally, from if I experienced that or encountered that, I know I wouldn't reacted the way you did.
I'm gonna say, well, I don't know. I can't be rude to everybody, even though they be rude to me. I just feel like my heart too kind to be rude back all the time. But if I probably wasn't at work or somewhere else, then I probably would have acted back out.
Mm. But you have a strong willpower if you just didn't react like viciously towards them after they threw money at you. Like,
Right. Because I still feel like I was supposed to really fight them. But
yeah, that's when altercations started because they
it
was
was
getting
probably
good.
like about 6 of them. Yeah.
That's a group. They were deep. It's a big group.
And then you would think like older people would know how to act. Like
How
they
old
were,
did you think they were? Were like in their 30s?
I would range them from like 40 to 50, 60.
Wow.
And it may be because they were old and they just didn't have any patience or they want everything how they wanted it their way. I don't know.
Not that this matters, but like were they Caucasian or were they African American? Because like honestly, I feel like the situation was like if they were Caucasian, I'm not saying that they, but like I feel like they were trying to be.
Yeah, they were Caucasian.
Yeah, I feel like.
And I didn't want to just say it was a race thing. But when I was telling, like when I told people the story,
You don't do
that's
that.
what they said. But I try not to make everything about race. But
But like the way they acted and interact, the reaction towards you, they were trying to skip out on the meal. They wanted a free meal, so they were trying to get you on that because people that are racist do just belittle African Americans or any people that are not their race. And I guess they were just trying to come for your opponents. Well,
yeah,
that's how I feel about the situation. And the way you handled it was way like,
It was probably like about 6 of them. Yeah.
that's a group. They were deep. It's a big group.
And then you would think like older people would know how to act. Like
How
they
old
were.
did you think they were? Were like in their 30s?
I would range them from like 40 to 50, 60.
Wow.
And it may be because they were old and they just didn't have any patience, or they want everything how they wanted it their way. I don't know.
It's not that this matters, but like were they Caucasian or were they African Americans? Because like honestly, I feel like the situation was like if they were Caucasian, I'm not saying that they, but like I feel like they were trying to be.
Yeah, they were Caucasian.
Yeah, I feel like.
And I didn't want to just say it was a race thing. But when I was telling, like when I told people the story,
you don't do
that's
that.
what they said. But I try not to make everything about race. But
like the way they acted and interact, the reaction towards you, they were trying to skip out on the meal. They wanted a free meal, so they were trying to get you on that because people that are racist do just belittle African Americans or any people that are not their race. And I guess they were just trying to come for your opponents. Well,
yeah,
that's how I feel about the situation. And the way you handled it was way respectful.